Ladies and gentlemen, ET.PAT. Well, hello there. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
You good?
How
Thank
are
you.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to sit down and talk with you.
Same here.
Welcome to Soul Live.
I'm happy to be here.
You're like the best friend of the show, really.
I am the biggest fan of the show, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, yes, yes. So we're happy you made it. Thank you in advance, and we really just going to get into it, talk about it.
Okay,
You ready?
cool. I'm ready.
All right, awesome. I want to get like some of the obligatory questions out the way. And who is ET.PAT and where are you originally from?
Oh my God. Okay, so I am just like a person that is here on this earth. I'm from Dominican Republic. Then I migrated to Miami. Then I migrated to Jersey. Then I migrated to New York. So it's like I'm like from a bunch of places. But if I were to like solidify myself into one place, I'd probably say Jersey.
Oh, we're happy to claim you.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, it seems like you're well traveled.
Yeah, I like to travel. I like to see Earth and stuff.
What does the ET stand for?
So ET, everyone always thinks it's like extraterrestrial, but it's actually existential.
Okay.
And I was having an existential crisis when I was coming up with that name. And I was like, okay, like existential was too long for Instagram and to abbreviate it was ET.
ET? I definitely thought it was
I know
extraterrestrial.
everyone thinks that, but it's okay. I would think that too because of like ET, but it's
I'm one of the
existential crisis, Pat. But it's existential, Pat.
That's a dope ass name. I did want to talk about aliens though, but we can skip
We
that.
can.
Let's talk about aliens.
I'm like, where are they? Because it's like, can y'all please show face? Are you here or are you not here?
Do you have a theory?
I have a theory that like we are trying to edge closer and closer to like what aliens are, which is technology, and we're trying to get closer to like who we really are, which is like beings who were just dropped off here like centuries and years and billions of like light years ago. And it's like we're just trying to like get back to the motherland because it's not here. It's like not here.
I have a theory, or I've heard of a theory. It's not my theory, but aliens are really just like things from another dimension. And sometimes we get
Right.
a glimpse of them. Like the Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, stuff like that. That's where I've read.
Yeah. I think so. It's like when we die, it's not really we die. It's like we just like transition to a different dimension. And then it's like we can just hop dimensions. I feel like I'm okay with that because it's like the thought of just like
Poof and gone. I don't really trust people that like just think it's over.
I'm like, it's not over until I say it's over. Okay, thank you.
Right, right, right. All right. So tell me just a little bit about your childhood. Like what was it like growing up?
So like I grew up in Miami, so the majority of the time was outside. It's like when you grow up in a warm enough place, you just get dumped in a backyard and then it's like your imagination and yourself. And if you have siblings, if you're lucky enough to have siblings, you guys can play in the dirt and like come up with like all of these imaginatory stories. But I think my childhood was pretty chill. Like I grew up in Florida. It was hot. So I grew up in my backyard with my little sister and sometimes I would go to DR to visit my like family and stuff. But I think the biggest thing that I can take from my childhood is like the water.
Okay.
I'm a water baby. I love to surf. I love to be in the water. I love to like put my head into the water and pretend like everything's like whoop, disappears from like eyes view, right? Like you go under the water and like all the noise like fades away. So yeah, I think like if I were to give you like a word of my childhood is like in the water.
That's funny because
Yeah.
you're a fire sign.
I am a fire sign. I am a fire sign. But I love water for some very bizarre reason. I love water signs.
Do you?
So,
I'm a water sign.
what are you?
Guess.
You are a Scorpio.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
You literally just cheated, by the way, he cheated.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
you're a
gave it away.
Scorpio.
All right. Being original is the cornerstone characteristic of an artist, and you have a very unique style of music. So, can you share some of the influences that have contributed to the sound that you display in your work?
I really don't really have any influences. When I was younger, my mom worked a lot. So she would drop my sister off in Barnes and Nobles. And I don't know if people remember when Barnes and Nobles had like the headphones and like you can like really listen to like music, like a little like kind of like what do you call that?
It's like a kiosk, like
Like a
platform.
kiosk, and you
Yeah,
can listen to like a little bit of like whatever the people that were like being displayed there. And like I would listen to people like Regina Spektor,
I've heard of the name.
whoever know, if you know, you know. So I think because we were kind of broke and I had LimeWire, and LimeWire just shows you whatever, my iPod was filled with whatever was available to download, plus like whatever I would listen to at the Barnes and Noble's kiosk. So I think I just listen to a bunch of shit. If I like it, I like it. I don't care like what genre it is.
Yeah, don't you miss that a little bit? How like you used to have to go search for music.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I miss it because it's like it's more mentally stimulating, but I feel like it's also the comfort of it just all being in your hands. Like sometimes I just love the fact that I'm like listening to like, I don't know, whatever, and then like a playlist and like a random new artist pops up and I'm like, ooh, who is this? This is interesting. I
Right.
like people who are like kind of like step outside of the box. So I'm like, ooh, like it takes a lot of guts to do that.
To do something different, right?
Right, because everybody, appreciates something that sounds the same because it's like familiarity.
It's interesting because like while listening to your music, it kind of reminded me of something I heard when I was in art school. I went to art school, and the teacher was like, "You can often tell who's responsible for the piece of art without even knowing the signature at the bottom of it, and your voice is very unique. So, to your voice, have you always loved your voice? Because a lot of times when you start as an artist, people hate their voice. Like I know when I was trying to be an artist, I think everybody tried to be an artist at some point, right? And there's the people that
Yeah.
stuck with it. So I remember I used to hate my voice. I used to hate hearing myself recorded.
That's very interesting you asked that. So I was actually in choir like pretty much my entire life. And all of my chorus teachers literally were like, you need to be all the way back and stop it.
That is,
Yes. Yeah, because I don't know, like I just feel like I don't sing like as like traditional, like how a beautiful I just don't have that sound, or at least like that's what I was told my entire life. And I I dibbled and dabbled. I think for me I was more into like the behind the scenes of music. Like I really appreciated people who sounded unique, like Amy Winehouse. When I first heard her voice, I was like, "Whoa." Um and I think I took that and ran with it. But I think no, for the longest time I was like, no, I think I'm just an appreciator of the arts. But I'll sit this one out.
what pushed you into wanting to make music of your own?
Oh, okay. So I think it was a random night. I like being the appreciator of art that I am. I was hanging out with some friends, and we ended up having a little bit of extra studio time. And I hopped on the mic and we made a song. And I think it was the first song I ever dropped. It was called Moonchild. And I loved being able to express myself regardless of whether I thought my voice was cool enough or not. I was just like, nah, this feels good. I feel like I can speak my truth, and I feel like I just didn't give a fuck. I just liked it enough myself, and I was like, okay, well, this is good enough for me.
That's
That's it.
dope. That's dope. So your approach then to making that song, how much has that changed till now?
It hasn't. I
That's
feel like it's still like this is good enough for me. Okay, but I think maybe I'm a little bit more intentional, if anything.
okay.
Back then, I was a little bit more, I wasn't really expecting anything. I think now I'm a bit more intentional
Yeah,
with
you
what I
moving
put
with
out.
moving with more purpose.
I think so.
And it's funny because before the camera goes on, it's I would describe you as very free flowing, but once it got down to recording, it seemed like you turned a little bit militant and you knew exactly what you wanted to do, exactly what you were looking for. I like that. I like the juxtaposition, you know? So it's my understanding that you started your career around 2017, 2018. Is that right?
Yeah, that's when I've never even been in a studio before that.
Wow.
That was the first time, like, because I had a lot of friends that were in the music industry and they recorded. But before that, I was more of like, I was in the drama club, or I would have a lot of friends that were into music, but I was never that
Hmm.
brave to step in front of a mic. So yeah, so around that time is when I truly found the fact in my voice and the fact that I love music so much that this is what I truly want to
Nice.
dive into.
So that's around the time you made Moonchild, right?
That's around the time yeah, I think 2016 was when I actually made Moonchild.
And I heard you got some like early industry nods on like Moonchild and dropping your first record.
Which was surprising, which was very surprising. I did. And I was so appreciative, but also a little bit confused because it's like, okay, it's just me like dropping a song and I don't know what I'm doing.
Did it
And
make you nervous?
it didn't make me nervous. It actually made me really happy and excited and appreciative that people are acknowledging me like the same way that I acknowledge myself, you know?
Right.
You don't ever get that easily. People usually, unless they really like something, they won't step out and appreciate that
And let you know it and be
and let you
vocal
know.
about it. Yeah.
So I appreciated that a lot.
That's awesome. I think one of the most overlooked skill sets an artist can have is knowing when to walk away from what they're working on. You took a bit of a hiatus away from the scene, right?
I did.
All right. Okay. Can you share what led up to that hiatus? Because you go from getting industry nods, you think conventional wisdom would be, hey, now it's time to go 1,000 miles per hour. What made you walk away a little bit or take a step back?
I think it was the fact that I tend to I don't know, like I just wanted to see something different. Like I felt like for the 3 years that I was really going in on music, that was all I thought about. And I really just wanted to see something else. Like I wanted to travel. I wanted to appreciate other things the same way that I appreciated music because I didn't want it. My life is just not one dimensional. Like I love so many different things in the same way that I love music. And I really just wanted to take some time to nourish the other things that I love.
That's good. That's awareness.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, like I just want to travel and be at the beach and be with friends and family, not think about anything else but that.
Right. While you were on that hiatus and enjoying the other parts of life, did you write at all? Like, was there still something in your brain that said, all right, this is an idea, I have to get it down? Not knowing when you were going to eventually come back to music, was it still kind of part of the process? It's hard to turn it
Yeah.
off.
It is hard to say. Once in a while, like I would write occasionally, like if something came to my mind, but more than anything, I was living in the moment. I wasn't really living on pen and paper because I wrote so much when I dropped my first EP, Camp Mars. And before I dropped Camp Mars, I had another EP that was kind of like sitting in the back burner. So I was like, I spent 3 years of my life just writing, 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 writing. I wanted to spend 3 years of my life just being in the moment, present, and not thinking about writing it down.
Right. I think that's one of the biggest lies artists tell themselves. It's like, I'm going to remember this later.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to remember the melody.
I don't remember
You're
shit.
not, no, no, it's gone.
I don't remember shit.
So often when we have these creative conversations, we don't spend enough time diving into the lived experiences. And then you spoke to that, pretty much being in the moment. And I think that's what pretty much feeds the beast, like feeds the creativity. So for you, how much separation is there between the person and the artist? Because they seem very close together because it seems like you put your life into it. And you actually walked away to experience to feed what you're giving us now. Is that like a very close? Do you try
There's
to keep them
no
separate? I
separation.
like it.
Like literally no separation. Like I am who I am. I am ET.PAT. Everything I do on my day-to-day basis, I don't know, it's just me. It's just my like me.
Hmm.
I try to separate it sometimes, but
I think there's like a healthy balance between the two.
okay, maybe. I don't know. I maybe. Maybe. Who knows?
I ask that because from what I've heard from you, there's like a vulnerability in your music that speaks through. And you tend not to hold back. So would you classify yourself as a sensitive person? And not sensitive like you're crying, but just in tune with
I would say I'm not sensitive, but maybe others are probably saying sensitive. But me, I'm just gonna be a hard ass for life. But I I don't know. I mean, I hope not. I would classify me as a hard ass. But maybe others would probably say
What's your
no.
definition of sensitive? Maybe I'm using the wrong word.
I think like a sensitive person is a person who um shifts depending on the moods of others,
Could
which I
be.
probably do. But this is just me being a hard ass. I am
Okay.
a fire sign, but whatever.
What sign
Whatever
is
that
that,
means.
by the way? I don't think I asked you.
I'm an Aries.
You're an Aries.
Yeah.
You run into things head first.
That's
Kinda.
a possibility.
Possibility.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
What do you know about Scorpios?
Water. I know that you guys are intense. My best friend's a Scorpio. Intense, emotional. That's what I hear from Scorpios.
Oh, I'm not emotional at all. Isn't isn't everybody though?
But yeah, like that's all I know about Scorpios.
Okay. All
You
right.
guys are like the secret of the signs.
I like that. I like the little
Let's keep it
mystery.
that way.
All right, we'll move on. So I'd be remiss in not bringing up execution. Like I was saying before, you're kind of like a master at work. Once the lights is on, once it's ready to perform, you're very detailed oriented. So I think the challenge for every artist is to get their music as close as possible to the sound that they have in their head. And for an artist like yourself, your music is so ambient, it's atmospheric, it's otherworldly. Do you feel you're making the music that you've always felt in your head?
Fuck no.
No. You got more to go. That's not
I
this.
have a lot more to go. I think like whatever I see or hear in my head, it's just not. I don't even think it's like what could ever be close to what reality is because it's just like in here and I there's a lot.
Well, do you ever think that maybe the technology isn't out there yet? Maybe the programming isn't
I
out
don't
there
think my
yet?
maybe it's my vocabulary. Maybe I just don't like explain it well enough. But I think the technology. Me, I don't know. I don't. To be honest, I'm not the biggest technology person, so I really don't know what's out there. But I think with time, I will be able to understand it all better.
Do you enjoy the process of trying to figure it out?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, you said you like kind of being behind the scenes, so it's kind of like, let me guess. Do you like being in studio sessions even if you're not the one recording?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm kind of the same way.
I like to hear. I like to just be there because I think the process for everyone is so different, and I think it's so fun and so enjoyable, and we can just share so many different like takes and opinions, and I just really appreciate art in general. So I love what it what a lot of people take to get there, like what they do to get to like their art, their artistry.
You like the process.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
It's very
It's much
fun.
more fun than a lot of other things.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
All right, so switching gears, I had to stalk your social media in order to prepare for
The
this.
5 pictures.
Yeah, yeah, you made it very difficult to prepare for it, but I think we're doing good. What do you think?
I think we're doing good.
Awesome. I came across a video and you said something to the effect of, "It's apparent every day, y'all niggas have never tripped balls."
Oh my god.
Now, as a person that's always wanted to experience tripping balls, can you give me the benefits of tripping said balls?
I think for me, it made me much more introspective. Like, I think it gave me an opportunity to truly feel and understand the things that I never gave myself an opportunity to sit there in silence and feel fully, and connect in a different way, right? And experience things in a different light, which is hard to experience as like a human in our human form. But I think the benefits are that you see your emotions or you feel your emotions in a completely different way. And I don't know, I want to be able to do that. It's not for everyone.
Right. I
It
was
could
gonna add that.
it could fry some brain cells. I mean, I'm not gonna confirm or deny if it did it to me, but it could fry some brain cells. But I think my experience brought me to Camp Mars, which was inspired a lot about from around tripping balls. You know, a lot of thoughts that I had in my head that were brought out
Uh-huh.
of me because of that.
And it kind of, I would say it kind of empowers knowing more of yourself and being able to strip away. I think it strips away your ego a little bit.
Yeah, I
That
think
can
so.
only help your music.
Yeah, I think so. It does humble you for sure.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people just look at it recreationally when it could be
Yeah,
almost a medicinal type of thing.
I agree. I agree with that.
All right. Can you tell us what can we expect from you in the future?
I literally don't even know what I would expect. I don't know what I can expect from myself 5 minutes from now. So
Okay.
in the future is like so hard for me to even describe.
Well, where would you hope to be?
Mm, oh, like Oregon, like by the water, like in like a swimming hole,
Hmm.
like with a rope swing. I think like that's what I where I can see myself in the future.
I like that. As far as music is concerned, do you even think about the future, or is it really just about the journey? It seems
I
like
think
it's
it's
about
about the journey.
it's about the journey, so it's kind of wherever you land.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like it. I think people put too much pressure on themselves to reach these goals and stuff when it's really these accolades or whatever you can get is going to come to you if you're just appreciating the moment.
I think so. I think so. I think that that's exactly what it's all about. Just being happy and going with the flow of things is, I think, more than good enough for me.
I like it. Well, we're winding down. We really appreciate you coming and sharing your talents with us. Please come back.
Yeah. Hello. Of course.
Can we give it up for ET.PAT?
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hearts.
Hearts.